I talk about whole life insurance all the time and the benefits that it provides from a living benefits and cash value perspective. And unfortunately for people who are younger, let's call it 20 to 30 years old, a lot of times the value of the actual life insurance gets kind of swept under the rug. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about why I think even if you don't have a family, if you're not married, if you don't have kids, I think considering the value of getting life insurance right now and not just dismissing the value that that's going to provide for you in your life as you move forward and you mature and you start a family and you do all these things, why you would want to contemplate and consider knocking that or checking that, box off the list for your future, but doing it now, a decade probably before you plan on needing to. So if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell, that way you're notified every time I launch a new video. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, Cashflow hackers? It's Chris with Life 180, and this video is going to be one of the faster videos I've ever done. We're talking about life insurance, the importance of the actual life insurance for people in their 20 to 30 years old. Now, a lot of times, as I said, people don't consider the actual benefit and value of the life insurance that comes along with an infinite banking style policy, right? We talk about the living benefits, we talk about the cash value, we talk about the leverageability, all these things that are absolutely applicable and are probably the reason that you're here, even considering utilizing one of these financial tools to be able to, utilize in your life. My encouragement to you is to think about a couple things. I'm just gonna say, let's say you're 25 years old. Maybe you're a little older, a little younger, but let's just split the middle and call it 25. You're 25 years old, got your first good job out of college, or maybe you started a business and you're doing well, and you have some extra cash flow. You know that you need to build an emergency fund. You know you need to be preparing an opportunity fund, all the different things. Maybe you want to invest in real estate. And so you're thinking about that for a whole life policy. Now, I always say a whole life policy is the only financial tool in the world that will make sure what you want to happen will happen when you want it to happen, whether you're here to see it or not. Now, what's going to happen is it's also you're getting each dollar to perform multiple duties, right? Because each dollar that you put into the premium, you're going to save. It's going to grow. You're going to have access to it. It's getting you life insurance. Now, a lot of people dismiss the life insurance because you're 25. You don't really need life insurance. You don't have a kid. You don't have a wife. You don't have a spouse, a husband. And so why would you need life insurance? Well, I'm gonna challenge you on that. And I always tell people you can't solve long-term problems with short-term thinking. And my encouragement to you is to be extremely proactive and to think about your future and to think about what are your goals and objectives. You're buying this policy to solve your goals and objectives long-term, not just short-term. Think long-term. You plan on getting married? If the answer is yes, even though you don't have insurable need right now for a wife and a kid, I'm just gonna talk to a guy because I'm a guy, I'm sorry, that's just the way my brain works. But if you're a woman watching this, no, I'm talking about a husband, right? So if you're thinking about your wife in the future, you're gonna want life insurance to protect her. You wanna start a family, you're gonna need life insurance to protect that family. Do you need it right now? No, you don't have a kid, you don't have a wife, you're not married, maybe you haven't even met the special person yet, right? But if you know that's in your, in your objective, in your goals, and you want to get married, that's a value that you have and that's important to you, waiting till later is just going to cost you more money. So if you think about it right now, even though we kind of sweep the life insurance conversation a lot of times, unfortunately, under the rug, people don't consider that and the value that that actually has in your life from a long-term perspective. Look at it this way. You're never going to be more insurable than you are right now. I talk to people in their 20s all the time, and they're doing awesome things. They're active. You're never going to be healthier probably than you are right now. It takes a lot of work to hit 40. Trust me, I'm 42 and it's hard. It takes a lot of intentionality to try to be as healthy as possible. And even as much as I try, it's extremely hard to stay healthy and fit and active and all the things to keep good insurable ratings. I talked to a guy the other day who was 45. He got an insurance policy when he was 38. At that point in time, he's extremely fit. Now he's not, and he can't even get more insurance, right? So that's a problem, right? And this is what happens to a lot of people. So there's a chance that by the time you get married, maybe something happens. Maybe you get into an accident. My wife, I'll share this. My wife, in 2015, we got into a car accident. She got a traumatic brain injury. She doesn't even qualify for insurance right now because of her brain injury that she got. And those are things that can happen in a very acute basis, and they're things that are out of your control. So imagine you want to get married, you want to have kids, you're 25 right now. What happens if when you're 30 you get into a car accident and you're no longer insurable. Now, because you didn't act now and you didn't lock in some insurance and do your like good stewardship for the future of your life, you're not going to be able to sit there and provide for your family in the way that you could otherwise by just being a bit proactive, right? And by thinking about these things. Now, the good news is if you start when you're 25, the cost of the insurance is so negligible that like it really becomes a no-brainer, because you're not necessarily buying it for the insurance, but I encourage you to not just dismiss the value and the power of getting that insurance, because that is the thing that I see the most is people are like, Chris, I don't care about the insurance. I don't like if I could have no death benefit, I'd have no death benefit. It's like, well, you wouldn't be doing this then. And if you're going into it with that mindset, I would encourage you to think about it through a completely different lens. Protecting your family in the future is an extremely important thing. Heck, maybe you have a family now. Obviously, if you do, it's even more important. But even if you don't, I encourage you to think about protecting the family of your future, protecting the family that you know you're going to have, setting that intention. And that's really powerful. Think about it. By you being a good steward of your money and getting all these things in place ahead of time. Think about, I'm gonna go next level on you here and think about the level of intentionality and the law of attraction that if you do that and you put all these things in place, I'm a big believer, and call me crazy, but I'm a big believer if you're operating at that level of intention, of protecting and attracting that relationship that you're looking for when you're in your 20s, it's just going to attract a much higher quality level of relationship that you're going to be looking for. And then it's going to lead to a more fulfilling life. So hopefully that's not too cheesy for you, but it's truly what I believe. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Hopefully you find value in that. If you have any questions, comment in the comment section below. Reach out to the person that shared this video with you. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell, that way you're notified every time I launch a new video. We're doing this every single day. So until next time, have a blessed and inspirational day. We'll talk soon. See ya.